and welcome to NatFun, a live-recorded tabletop role-playing adventure game where the dice and a few friends tell the story. And today, I'm super excited because I'm a big sci-fi nerd. We get to play Esper Genesis, a D&D 5th edition compatible game system set in a galaxy far, far away from the Feywild and Forgotten Coast. My name's Jackie, and I will be your game master for this adventure, and I'm of course joined by a couple space mercs for hire.
I'm Dan, and I'll be playing Dathkar Krathta, who is a level 4 Madokai Sentinel. He enjoys being the strongest and in charge, and has little respect for those who can't handle themselves well in a fight.
Just like real life.
That's right.
I am Matt, and I'll be playing Alric Tyning. He goes by Al for the most part, because Alric. He's a Dendis cybermancer, and he is very much the explorer. He comes from a species of people who have endured generations and generations of near extinction, and now they just love to explore the universe or represent their culture to other people.
I realized we failed to have an epic name of Dendiscon.
Dendiscon. Oh, man. Well, give it a minute. You got to work into that.
Now, in this adventure, we will be playing Esper Genesis, which is created by Alligator Alley Entertainment. And we'll be starting this adventure with a couple of Crucible Corpus modules from Skydon Game Studios. I find that using pre-made modules is a great way to add a fun quest to your current campaign, or even string them together to create your whole adventure. And Skydon Game Studios delivers, with 10 different pre-made adventures available, as well as a resource with over 100 plot hooks for your own Esper Genesis game, and access to all the supplements necessary to publish your own module with their open game license. It's pretty awesome. And all these assets are available in both PDF and Roll20 compatible versions. But wait, there's more! Skydon Game Studios recently released Phantasy Star Tabletop RPG, which is a cooperative storytelling game where you and your friends take on the roles of heroic protagonists in a boundless universe based on the popular Phantasy Star video game series. It's powered by the Esper Genesis game system that we'll be playing, and is now available in both hardcover and PDF. You can check out both Esper Genesis and Phantasy Star at skydongames.com and DriveThruRPG. We'll have links to both in the show notes and on our website, natfunpodcast.com. Now, the mechanics for Esper Genesis are really well laid out in my opinion, as they utilize the exact same framework as the tried and tested 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons system. The standard 6 skills are matched with some of the same, but also some new skills that we will see as we play. And the Esper Genesis core manual is filled with new space-worthy species, classes, feats, Esper Powers, and more, for a totally different gameplay that utilizes a well-known mechanics system at its core. But for those of you that haven't played Dungeons & Dragons before, don't worry! Come along with us as we play through an adventure with investigation, drama, and spaceflight. I will be the game master running the behind-the-scenes story and introducing the players to the world their characters will be interacting with, and the players will be building the story with me as they engage and explore the world around them. And we here at NatFun like to say the dice tell the story. And that's because whenever a player's character wants to do something, they'll roll a dice to determine how successful they are, adding or subtracting from their roll based on their character's skills. You'll get the hang of it pretty quick, I promise. And with that, who's ready to become big dang space heroes?
Dathkar.
This should be good. Pew, pew, pew.
You didn't hit anything.
Shocking.
So to set the scene for this adventure, the world of outer space is vast, and so much is still unknown. Our adventure will take place in the Tessera star system. The Crucibles were the first great discovery here, built by an ancient civilization and containing an infinite power source within their cores, leading to swift expansion and growth throughout the galaxy. And it is on the small planet of Uria 7 that we find our players, having been hired by their contact, Leo, to scavenge a wrecked ship. The job was simple: recover the cargo from the Basilisk and blast off before anyone else is the wiser. But Dathkar and Al ran into some problems, which you can hear about in our Session 0 episode available on our Patreon.
Smooth as silk.
Now, they were able to get the ship online and fly it back to Leo's ship for processing, But as the basilisk settled onto its landing gear, 50 feet away from the hangar containing Leo's ship, all of the lights began to flicker. The screens showed minimal power, no shields, weapons, or fuel left. It was yet again dead in the water. And it is here that we rejoin our players, Dathkar, Death Star, and Al in the bridge, in the moments just after their rapid descent and landing.
Smooth as silk, like always. Oh god, it's dead.
You did a fine job. We're here in one piece.
Mostly.
Let's go find Leo and collect the reward for this.
Sounds like a good plan. And I'll stand up, and you see a very athletic built creature. He's a Dundus who is kind of like a sea land walking creature. His hair is actually tentacles, which are dark purple. His skin is just a slight shade off white with a little purple hue. He's mostly legs and has 3 fingers and toes on each appendage. He's much more of a kind of get it done via Esper power kind of guy, as opposed to a, smash it and bash it kind of guy. He walks through the bridge and heads towards the door.
And when you're looking for someone to smash it and bash it, just look at Dathkar stand up. He's quite huge. He's a humanoid lizard that's around 7 feet tall. Has a long snout with some sharp fangs that protrude from each side of his jaw. Claws on each hand, and spikes that run from head to tail. Golden scales with yellow eyes. He wears heavy armor that is well used, worn out, dirty, scratched. Probably has some other people's blood on it still.
Recently.
As Dathkar stands up, he will follow Al out the door.
And as you both approach the door, before you get to it, you hear an alarm ring out on the main console on the bridge. And you turn around to see the screens that you had been just looking at a moment ago, seeing everything was depleted, are now flashing red.
Well, I don't know a lot about this ship, but red flashing is generally a bad sign. Did we not do something right?
Ships are your specialty. I'm just here for protection.
I just mash buttons and hope for the best, mostly. But I think we got a problem here.
Oh, I can mash buttons.
No. Everything's mashed to the max. I think we're good.
I'm writing down mashed to the max as a possible adventure name.
I'll have an experience, although he joked about just being a button masher, runs back to the main console and drops down in the chair and starts keying through systems to see if he can understand what's happening. They need to make sure the ship's going to survive long enough for them to get their paycheck.
And Dathkar, as Al is going over to the console, you hear crashing sounds, metal on metal, through the door towards the cargo bay area. And Al, on the screen as you're going through all these lines of alerts, you see an alert showing override. Someone is attempting to override the cargo bay doors from inside the ship.
We got a stowaway, or somebody we didn't find. Let's see what's happening here. They're trying to get out.
Dathkar is going to go ahead and call his Grandblade to him. He has that ability with his Sentinel's rig, basically a linked weapon, so at any point he can draw that out, and it basically kind of removes itself from the suit and goes right into his hand, so he's got it ready to go. It's like armored pieces of the suit that start to slide together and become this large, heavy weapon that he has in his hand. Or I guess in both hands, because it's a two-handed weapon.
Goodness.
Really cool.
Roll out.
He will turn towards that cargo door and march his way down there.
As you get to the cargo door, the ship is on emergency power, so the doors open and remain open. You see that there's faint light in the space, but it's just the emergency lights. You can see a gap on the far side where the cargo ramp was, where you guys entered the ship. And I will read to you. A faint clank heralds a metallic figure running out of the cargo bay. There's faint lights, but as you look towards the cargo bay door, you see it is descending. It's over halfway open, and you see the silhouette of an android form starting to run down the walkway. It releases a digital cry. "Help! Help! The enemy has found me!" And it makes it about halfway down the ramp, and then it trips and falls clang, 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 all the way down the rest of the ramp. And as it's starting to stand up, very wobbly and knock-kneed, you see a massive metal vehicle look like it's going to drive straight up the ramp, and instead drifts and slams into the edge right next to where that android fell. It's an ambush. It looks like a civilian car, but it's barely scratched as it pulls a turn to drift right next to the ship. Armed and armored humans roll out and start to fire on the figure in front of you. What do you do?
Whoa.
Death Car is gonna shout back to Ulrich, "We've got company," and he'll proceed to the ramp. And I mean, he's only killed 2 things today, so like pump up those numbers.
Pump the jam. All right, let's make an initiative roll. Let's make this legit. What about you, Al?
As I hear him yelling, I just try to turn everything off on the ship, and I'm running towards the back.
All right, let's have you roll for initiative, but I'm going to say because of your distance, you're going to miss the first round of combat.
Sounds fair.
Oh, nice. Death Car rolls a 17. He is highly motivated to kill things at this point, so yes. Thank you, Dice.
Yeah, that'd be a natural 1 for a 3, so that's awesome. I'll be there in a minute. You may not even need to wait this round.
All right, Dathkar, you're up first.
All right, so if the scale's correct, I'm about 20 feet from the closest individual.
Yeah, so there's this armored car that pulled up, and you saw 2 humanoid figures hop out. One, you can't really see where it went. The other one got out of the passenger side, and you see a fairly well-armored, think very RoboCop looking, like they've got the silver metal skull cap with the black visor. They have a really nice kind of breastplate on, metal pieces on their legs, and a bit of a pack with an antenna sticking out of it. They have a small blade hanging on one side of their belt, and they have a pistol in their hand.
Sounds good. Well, so as Deathcar begins to ascend the ramp, he will go ahead and power up his Graviton Strike. I will throw that up in chat for everyone here. But it is concentration power here, that the next time I hit a creature with a weapon that I attack them with, a powerful gravity field will appear at the point of impact, and the target must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained by the gravity field for the duration.
Ooh.
And a larger creature has advantage, but this guy doesn't look so large, so I'm not too worried about that. And then it does cause 1d6 force damage at the start of the turn against the creature, assuming they fail it.
Okay. So this, you said, it happens if you attack them, right?
Yeah, upon hitting it. So until I hit him, he won't have to make the saving throw yet.
Gotcha.
All right, so Dathkar will charge straight down with that Grandblade in hand, his power enabled, and he's going to swing that Grandblade straight down with a 17.
Oh, yeah, 17 hits.
All right, well, he needs to make a strength saving throw if he survives this.
He's stronger than he looks. He rolled an 18 for that strength save.
Ooh, boo. Well, he'll take 10 points of slashing damage anyway.
All right.
And I won't burn a tech slot right now since I already did something else. We'll simmer here and give him a fair fight. So that will go ahead and end Dathkar's turn.
Now, can you describe for me where you hit them with your Grandblade? Because I know you're like swinging from straight above them, but where on their person did you strike?
Swing straight above, right down across where their shoulder meets their neck, like trying to hit that weak point and where the armor wouldn't cover, basically a joint.
All right, so As you strike with the Grandblade, the armor was pretty decent. It was a much nicer set than you expected compared to the last group that you came upon, the last mercenaries you came upon. But as you hit the shoulder piece, it buckled and went into their arm, and you see blood starting to pour out from underneath it, and their left arm is drooping.
Dathkar's smile grows wider.
Dathkar, as you scan the field quickly, you hear off in the distance metal on metal as 2 more mercenaries come running out of Leo's ship. And in front of them, you see a small, flying, kind of terrifying metal device. It's a drone, but it has propellers with blades underneath that act in unison as it's moving, as well as a small gun mounted on the bottom of the drone itself. This is a blade drone. It flies out in front of 2 more mercenaries that run down the ramp from Leo's ship. And joining the fray are 2 out of those 3, because they rolled pretty good on their initiative. So the first one is going to be one of the mercenaries. They can't move super far, but they're going to run out about 15 feet. So you guys were 50 feet away from Leo's ship. But at 15 feet, they are going to go ahead and raise their pistol and take a shot at you. Does a 19 break your armor class?
It does. So Leo... Oh, it's coming from Leo's ship. These aren't Leo's guys. I was like, he hired people? Sorry. I'm catching up here.
You don't know. All right, so you are going to take...
intelligence of 0, so...
You're going to take 4 points of piercing damage.
4 points of piercing damage.
That ends their turn. Next up is the blade drone, which it also moves about 20 feet. And you see those propellers are going, and you see it lowers the scythe blades and literally has these almost combat knives spinning underneath it, under each of the 4 propellers on the unit. And then its little gun drops, aims at you. You see this teeny tiny little red dot, way smaller than you need to be scared like in an action movie of, as it shoots at you. Ooh, this 6 doesn't break your armor class, does it?
Nope.
Nope. So what happens to those little teeny tiny bullets?
I mean, they just bounce off the armor. It's heavy armor. He's been hit by bigger bullets.
That's fair. All right, next up in the turn order is the mercenary that you just hit with your Grandblade. And the arm that is drooping low was the arm that was right next to their short blade, which they probably would have used in close combat, but they can't do that. So instead, they are going to use their pistol, and they're going to try and do a point-blank shot at you, which means they have disadvantage.
Like how it's disadvantage when you're point blank with a gun.
I'm treating it with ranged rules.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to do that, I'm fine with just taking the first one. I will also say that since his one arm is drooping low, he's a little bit panicked and off balance, and that is the other reason he has disadvantage. So,
okay.
But with
Either
disadvantage, it's good because the first one was a crit.
Ooh.
He rolled a nat 20 on the first roll and only a 15 on the second.
Doesn't hit. It just glances. He didn't line up the shot well enough, and it just glances off at an angle off the armor.
And they are going to try and run around this vehicle, which means they're going to go out of your 5-foot radius around you if you would like to take an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, Deathcar's not above 7, someone in the back, so...
Or the leg.
That Grandblade.
Or the face.
Rolls a 25.
Oh, yeah, that's going to hit.
You ain't going nowhere.
14 points of slashing damage.
Where do you aim for this guy as you kill him?
He turns around, and I just know I have him. It's not even going to be hard, and I just come back sort of... I hit him from the one side at the neck, and I just come down right on the other side and just finish the job. Kind of cut a V in one side, cut a V in the other, and his head just kind of rolls off as he started to head that direction.
As his body falls to its knees and then just torso falls forward.
Yes.
Sounds good. So they are totally totally out of the game. But you did originally see 2 humanoids hop out of that vehicle. And now you see a form in dark robes with a hood pulled up over their head, moving through the windows on the other side of the vehicle. And they just peek out, and over the hood, they start to twist their hand in a circular motion and then thrust it towards you as you see the air around their arm morph into a sphere. And they power distortion and throw this sphere of whirlwind straight at you. The attack roll is a 19.
Oh, that hits.
This is going to be problematic.
Yep. It's a lot of damage, and they rolled really, really good on 2 out of their 3 dice. It's 3d8 damage.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
They rolled 2 8s and a 2.
Oh, dude.
What's that, like 4 or 5?
So that's going to be 16 points of damage to you.
Ouch.
Am I displaced in any way, or does this just affect me? Like, it doesn't knock me back or anything like that?
Nope.
You are not thrown back or anything, but as that sphere of wind comes straight towards you and strikes you, it bursts into a micro-singularity and just warps around your entire body, and it just hurts everywhere.
All right.
And then they're going to be a coward and go right back behind that vehicle and disappear from your sight. From across the field, in the opening between the 2 cargo ramps of these ships, the ship that you came from, which is fairly small, and then the ship that Leo flew you guys in on, which is much bigger, you see another mercenary run out. They only make it about 15 feet because part of their movement was spent running down that ramp, but they're going to go ahead and grab their pistol and take a shot at you. They rolled a nat 1, so their pistol jams.
You sure it doesn't ricochet off me and hit him back? 'Cause that would be amusing.
You used your lightsaber to ricochet it back, did you?
I'll give you the choice. Do you want it to ricochet back and cause a little bit of damage but work for the next time they shoot, or do you want them to abandon the weapon? I was going to have them throw the pistol on the ground.
That's fine. Abandoned weapon's fine.
Okay. You hear them grunt and curse out, and then they throw the pistol on the ground behind them. It bounces a couple times. We'll say for fun's sake, the bullet does discharge from the pistol, but at a much lower velocity than normal, and it strikes them on the back of their calf, and it stings a little bit. They take 1 point of damage. But the gun is now 10 feet behind them, and that ends their turn. Ow. We are finally at you in the turn order. Describe how you just make it through the cargo bay, and that's your turn.
Yeah, well, Al's gonna run his full movement from the bridge down the ship into the end of the cargo bay, and as he's been hearing the things going on, he's also going to pull his ability and power up his protective field. So now he has an AC of 15. Yay, 15.
Nice. And as you run through the cargo bay, it does look a little disheveled from the flight and when you guys were landing kind of in that chaotic situation. But you notice there's almost a big opening in the floor you have to leap over because one of the metal grids, like one of the metal panels that was the flooring, has been lifted and slid out of the way. And it wasn't like that before.
Oh, somebody's been using smuggling hatches. I see.
But that unfortunately ends your turn.
Cool.
So now we are to our robot friend that's been kind of running around, help me. And they are just going to continue to kind of run back and forth.
Kill something.
Death Car helps those who help themselves.
And it's actually going to make a beeline for the mercenaries and the blade drone.
It's probably a poor decision.
And use their full movement and dash to get over there. That ends their turn. We are back up at the top of the turnover to Dathkar.
Dathkar is going to go ahead and head around this car using essentially his full movement. And as he rounds the corner, I assume sees the individual that was on the other side of it before I continue with where I'm going.
Yes, you do. You see a medium humanoid crouch down very low. At first, you mistake them for something very young or a different species because they're so low to the ground. But then as they look at you, you see that form, and it is a humanoid in a dark black robe pulled up over their head. Their eyes glow with kind of a deep blue purplish hue, and you recognize this is a Melder initiate.
Well, as Dathkar rounds that vehicle, he powers up his Slayer's Mark, which is a feature of his bonus action, and I can mark a creature within 30 feet of me, and I get an advantage on attack rolls for the next minute against this creature.
Nice.
And he will go ahead and bring that Grandblade right to this glowing-eyed individual. So that's an 18 and 11. I'm assuming 18 hits.
Absolutely.
It does 13 points of slashing damage.
Heard. Where do you strike them?
Well, the guy's crouched down on the ground, so I'm figuring Dathkar would come right across his back. I assume he probably would have turned, so maybe right into his shoulder or arm. He's coming down and trying to hit the center of this guy who's hunched down, crouched down. So it's going to be kind of arm to chest, just right across with his full strength. He's a little agitated right now.
And as you strike them, this does a significant amount of damage. They cry out in pain and look down in fear and panic as their arm, the one that just powered that attack at you, is twitching on the ground by their feet.
Excellent. That will end Dathkar's turn.
All right, we are back to the mercenaries that ran out of Leo's ship. This is the one that tried to shoot at you before but missed. They still have their pistol. They saw you disappear behind that vehicle, and they're going to call out, "Get what we came for!" And it's going to run right up to that android that was running and calling out for help, grab the short blade on their side, throw their arm out as it extends, and they're going to swing their short blade at this android. And they rolled a 21.
Oof.
Yeah, they totally hit him. And they cause 6 points of piercing damage. And this android calls out, "Safety! Safety!" as the blade drone flies straight up to it and tries to come down right on top of its head with those combat knives. It only rolled a 13, though. So as it starts to come down on top of that android, that all metallic head, the blades just bounce off the edges, almost as if it's made of a harder metal than expected. And then last we have... All my guys are stacked right back to back to back. Sorry, guys. This is a boring hot minute for you.
I'm in the ship making a sandwich. I don't know what you guys are doing.
I know, seriously.
That's okay.
So as those scythes bounce off the helmet of this android, the Melder Initiate right in front of you, Dathkar, is freaking out. And they are going to activate their power push.
Good luck with that.
I know. Does a 14 hit your AC?
Nope.
All right. They try to turn around, and you see them cry out in pain as the arm they normally summon their powers from is no longer there. So halfway through standing up, they try to use their other hand, and it just does not come in time. And they try to do a forceful push, and you see the wind start to move and swirl around their hand, but instead of it activating and actually shooting towards you, they instead just like reach out and gingerly touch your chest awkwardly.
Bad touch.
And they're going to look at you and try and... I want to do something kind of fun here, and you can say no. They want to try and scamper over the car to get away from you. So if you have an attack of opportunity, I would like to ask if you would be willing to take it with disadvantage as they're trying to do this maneuver and the car is slightly in your way.
Sure. Why not?
Just makes it more cinematic.
All right. So you want me to make my attack first?
Yeah, if you want to do an attack of opportunity, I would say do it at disadvantage, but I promise I'll give you something as a bonus.
It's all right. It's an 11 and a 10. So the 10
All right, unfortunately, neither of those would hit.
Didn't matter either way.
No.
Although I have Hunter's mark, so he's technically marked for advantage, so it would have been a negated one no matter what.
That's fair.
But it doesn't matter because it didn't hit.
I would say that either the 10 or the 11 wouldn't hit, so that is a very good point. But I did promise that I was going to give you something. So as he scampers up and away and over this vehicle, you hear something ding, 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 kind of bounce over this truck. And it's a healing ampoule. And you're able to snatch it and grab it. And that you now have a healing ampoule in your hand.
Sweet. That's why I missed. I guess as I was swinging, that thing popped out and distracted me, and I caught it instead of swinging through.
All right, they run a full 30 feet, trying to arc around to get behind the other mercenaries that are engaging with our android friend. And now we have the other mercenary, the one that they're gun jammed and they threw it down. They're going to run straight up to this bot and yell out, "Alfred, we've got you now." Grab that short blade, swing their arm out, the blade extends, and they try and uppercut it towards Alfred. And with a 16, they're going to hit, and they're going to cause 8 points of piercing damage.
Oh, no.
Alfred's leg completely severed. You see sparks flying, and Alfred is just rolling on the ground, C-3PO style. Oh, no, Master Luke, oh, no. And he has almost nothing left to give. Just as Al emerges from the cargo bay of the Basilisk.
So Al has seen this all going down, and he's made the assumption that, well, the robot is part of their haul, and he comes running out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. He runs out and kind of shoots away, so he's not grouped up with Death Star there, the Death Car, and he is furious. They're messing with his payday. He is going to reach out and use his ability, Frost Coil. So he powers up.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, he powers up Frost Coil, which uses, and this is centered between the blade robot and the first attacker on old Alfred there. A 10-foot cube of frosty, cold air starts to form to a point of you see frost and icicles start to form damage on both of them. And they must make a Constitution saving throw of 13 or take full 3d8 damage.
All right, can you move this cube that I just made or no?
Let me see. No, but center it right here. So it misses Alfred, but it hits both of them that are kind of stacked up around him.
All right, so you're hitting the mercenary and the blade drone?
Yeah. And they need to make a Constitution saving throw of 13.
All right, so the mercenary did pretty good because they crit. They rolled a 21.
Boo.
But the blade drone, they rolled a 12.
Okay, so our mercenary takes half damage at 7 points of the 15. And our blade drone takes 15 points of cold damage as this cloud of just absolutely almost ice cubic air forms around them.
Describe how it affects the blade drone.
I think as it starts to form,
which now has 0 hit points.
Yeah, it's so cold,
well.
The metal on him starts to fracture, and actually ice shards start to shoot out from inside of it, and it just bursts like it had an ice grenade go off inside of it, and there's nothing left.
Sweet.
Bursts, the 4 propeller blade combos fall to the ground, and all are sticking straight out of the ground with those sharp blades. They're toast.
Yeah. And our other little friend takes 7 points of damage as that thing explodes and ice shards hit him. But he made a pretty good constitution. Jerk.
Are you doing anything else?
Yeah, I've moved and I've made an ice storm, so I am good to go. Done.
All right, we're back to our friend Alfred, who is just going to continue to roll on the ground. No, stop. Don't hit me. Dathkar.
Best rock band ever. Dathkar.
Dathkar is not done with his little pincushion friend over here. You said he moved 30 feet away. Well, unfortunately, that's not far enough.
I did reduce his movement for trying to climb over the car.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dathkar will run again directly up to this guy chasing him whole time as he's running away. And as he catches up to them, he's going to take that strike with advantage against him.
Do it. Do it.
A 15 and a 24.
Oh, 24 crushes it. It's probably what you're going to do with your Grandblade.
And so one question is, I do have a great weapon fighting. I get a reroll a 1 or 2 on two-handed damage rolls. Now there's a 1 that appears in my roll. So do I get to reroll one of those?
You get to reroll the 1.
Reroll the 1. All right, so I'm going to reroll. All right, so that is 9 points of slashing damage. I want all the damage, even if it's 1 point more.
They only had 4 points, so either way, you killed them very, very much.
Well, that's it. As he's running away again, Dathkar's not going to shy away from stabbing someone right in the back, and that's number 2 for the day. So he just he's running, shoves the Grandblade straight forward, right through his robes, and the body just kind of slumps and slides off as he draws it back.
That's cool.
And for his bonus action, he's going to go ahead and pop the top on that healing ampule.
I said ampule because it's Poule.
Yeah.
Ampule would have the U for it's French.
Pool.
It's space French.
It's space French.
Ampule.
Is this the Python,
the healing
Python argument all over again?
What do I roll on that one?
It is 2d4 plus 2.
2d4.
And it is a drink, or you can inject it.
Yeah, shoot it up.
EpiPen style.
Yeah, he's going to inject this. So he's going to pull that. Oh, man, it's awesome. I've rolled a 4 and a 2 for 10 points of healing. So grab that, jam it into the area right between the armor plating on my thigh, and feel highly invigorated and ready to continue killing things in this field.
I hope you're enjoying this episode of Cipher Syndicate. If you are, would you do us a favor and leave us a rating or review on your favorite podcast listening network, or like or subscribe? It really does help us out. And if you happen to have a friend that might be interested in listening too, can you tell them about us? It really helps other people find the show, and we continue to grow every day because of listeners like you. So thanks for listening, and let's get back to the episode. All right, so you moved, you did an action, and then that's the bonus action.
Yep.
So
And it's my turn.
Yep. All right.
It was a good turn.
That was a good turn. So we are now at the mercenary that was just hit with that frost coil from Al, and they still have that short blade out, and they are going to just do an overhanded strike and try and take off the head of Alfred.
Come on.
And they rolled a 23. I'm
Good
rolling real good
Lord.
tonight. So with that, the head of the one-legged Alfred comes off, begins to roll. And they stand over the body as if they are trying to protect it. That ends their turn. Milder Initiate is dead. Skip them. On to our other mercenary, the one that threw the jammed pistol. They see that their quarry is down. All they need to do is get rid of these interlopers so they can take it back to their boss. They're going to step forward, get right in your face, and just look at you and say, "This ain't your fight. Walk away." I'm going to have them make an intimidation check here. Ooh, they rolled a dirty 20. I'll let you determine how Dathkar would interpret that situation, but there might be like a mutual level of respect with their tenacity.
He'll kill him quick this time.
I know. I think I agree with you. I think Dathkar's kind of caught off guard because he respects someone that's, strong and not willing to back down from a fight that they're clearly losing. So definitely holds them back. Gives them something to think about.
But that's their action. They use their whole action to start a conversation. Next up, we've got Al.
Well, Al didn't hear that conversation, and so he's going to keep going northeast. 2, 3, 4. And he goes around Dathkar's right side, but he's still about 10 feet away from everybody. And he's seeing that there's 2 guys there, and one's standing over his payday, and he's not really digging that. So he is going to channel Lightning Ball, and he raises one of his 3-fingered hands, and this purpley ball comes out, and it builds up and then shoots over. And because the 2 friends are within 5 feet of each other, they both get hit.
And I would say because Dathkar is within 5 feet of them, unless this is a cubed attack,
it's
only Dathkar's going to get hit by this too.
Well, I'm shooting it between the 2 of them, not him. I get to choose 2 within
gotcha.
5.
I misinterpreted.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought it was since they're within 5 feet at arcs, and then I was like, oh, this is cool. Never mind.
Yeah.
Fine, just pick your 2.
Yeah, and I rolled a 4 for damage.
All right, they just need to make a dex save, looks like, yeah?
Yeah, it's the saving throw. Yeah.
So we're going to go with the mercenary standing over Alfred.
Yep, that's
first.
My primary target.
They rolled a 20.
Boo!
But the one that just threatened Dathkar enough that he took a pause rolled terribly. They rolled a 6.
He takes 4 points of lightning damage.
Electrical storm.
His armor sparks slightly as it hits him in the back.
Welcome to the party. And that is the end of Aldrich's turn.
All right, back to the top of the turn order. We've got Dathkar.
Playing into what you said with convincing Dathkar or intimidating Dathkar, he will have momentarily returned his Grandblade to his armor. And then he's going to look straight back at this guy. And I decide which fights are mine and which fights are not mine. And he'll make an attack with his claws.
Nice.
Oh, it's a 7.
But what dice made that 7, Dan?
Ooh, it's a 1. One of those is 1. But I get to reroll damage rolls, not attack rolls, I believe, for the great weapon fighter.
Correct.
Yeah.
You rolled a nat 1 on your attack.
Yeah.
So with that, as you go to strike out on that metal armor, again, this is really high quality stuff. One of your claws actually gets caught between the breastplate and a piece of the armor and rips a claw off your fingertip.
Ooh.
So you're going to take 1 point of damage.
I don't have anything
as
left
they grin.
in bonus actions or anything, and I don't plan on leaving this guy's side, so I'll have to be patient just a little longer. Leave him for me, Ulrich. That's what he'll shout. Or this one's mine, Ulrich. And that will end his turn.
All right. The mercenary that is standing over Alfred is going to grab the shoulder of the one that threatened you, Dathkar. And he's going to say, it's not worth it. And is going to make a break for it and just run off to the forest to the north of you. And they're going to make it just past the corner of Leo's ship. Just before the brush and the foliage starts. And that ends their turn and their movement. The one that threatened you, though, Dathkar, they're up next. And they're unsure, so I'm going to let the dice tell the story on this one. Because they hear that their team member said it's not worth it and is booking it. But this big, scary thing that they saw quake in its boots momentarily tried to threaten him back and got a hangnail on his armor. So he thinks he can kick your butt. So I'm going to let you pick if it's odd or even that he engages with you. And then I'm going to roll a dice to see what his decision is.
He attacks me.
And he rolled a 2. So with that, he's going to hold his short blade, keep it in his hand, and as he backs away, very cocky, point it at you as he takes a slow walk back.
Attack of opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm not going to say what happens until I roll because it didn't go so well last time. But again, since he doesn't have a weapon drawn, I'll be using his claws. Rolls an 8. Oh my goodness.
8's not gonna hit
do
that infiltration suit.
So as he goes, starts backing away, I go swipe with the other claw, but I'm still just a little put off by this guy and just kind of whiff it.
And he toys with you a bit. He uses the side of the short blade to parry your claw away and just backs and then twists the blade, drops it back down, and turns and tails and runs to meet up with his buddy, jumping over the crashed remains of the blade drone. And he doesn't make it quite as far. And now we are at Al.
Al's not digging this. They've messed with his payday. They've beat on his buddy. He is going to run up and get within about 10 feet of the first guy. He figured Deathcar's got the other guy in hand pretty well. And he's going to reach out. And again, not knowing fully the whole thing going on, he's going to use Sprite Beam again on this guy. And he collects the light in his hand, and then he releases it in this chain of code and purple light. Shoot for this guy in the back. Nope. Was that just a really bad roll? That was just a really bad roll. Yeah, so I roll a 7, so I think in my haste to run, I shoot off over his right shoulder and completely miss him. God bless him. That was my turn. That's okay though. I can still get him.
All right, back up to the top of the turn order. Dathkar, just before you feel the conviction to decide what you're going to do, you hear a muffled, familiar voice calling out from inside this large ship, the cutter. The ship that you flew here with Leo, who had hired you. Hey, Death Star! Alric! Hey!
You're making Dathkar make a decision here? Ooh.
What would Dathkar do? I'm just adding narrative flavor of what's going on in your scene.
Honestly, Dathkar's still going for this guy, and he is outside his normal range, but Dathkar does have like the wind, so as a bonus action I can double my walking speed.
Ooh.
For the next minute. So Dathkar gets a second wind and charges straight after the one guy who's been taunting him, and he's not done with him yet. Doesn't have his weapons drawn, still going with his claws. He's determined that this is that he can use his claws in combat.
Please be a 1. Please
23. Shut up, GM.
All right, fine.
So much for your legs, buddy.
For 5 points of slashing, and one of those is a 1, so I'm going to re-roll. So I re-rolled a 6, so it's a 3 plus 4, so 7 points of damage, slashing damage.
Where do you strike them with your claw? Or claws?
I presume he's running away. He's got his back to me, and he's feeling pretty good about himself, so he's not watching me too heavily, more staring over at Ulrich, who's off to his right. So I come up, just charging behind him again, caught that second wind. Incredible speed out of nowhere, just a short burst of speed, and just slash straight across his back. Right across, trying to carve through his armor. With presumably a less armored portion on his body.
It is. It's like a tin can. And you see blood starting to seep out of that wound as he cries out in pain with that slash. He's looking pretty rough.
And Dathkar is going to say, "Don't leave. We're only beginning." Or don't leave, the fun's just beginning.
Nice.
And that will end his turn.
All right. So now we're back to the two mercenaries. We have the one that was just at the very edge of the foliage in the forest, and they're just going to keep booking it. They decided they're ditching this whole effort. They're not being swayed. So they're going to run over 50 feet straight into the forest. You can still see them, but they have half cover at this point because there's behind so many branches and bushes and different things in that space.
That's one that's carrying the android head?
They didn't pick it up.
Oh, they didn't pick up the body. Okay, I thought he did. I guess in my mind, that's what was going to happen.
No, he was standing over it. The head rolled off, but they pretty much pissed themselves once they realized how up the creek they were, and they're done. They don't make enough money for this. But now we have the mercenary that you just slashed across the back. And this person's a little bit different. They were willing to get right in your face and threaten you. So they're hurt pretty bad, but they're going to grab that short blade, do a whirlwind move, try and slash at you as they roundabout, and then continue to book it. So they're going to try and hit you, spin, and run off. So we'll do their attack first with that short blade. 16.
It meets it.
All right, you take 5 points of piercing damage from the short blade, and then they continue that spinning arc and immediately start running towards the forest after their compatriot.
Attack of opportunity.
Do it, do it.
It's a 9.
Oh, no.
They're a little bit faster than you expected, and they anticipated you striking at them. So not only are they fairly quick, but they kind of duck down as they make that first leap, and they make it just past the forest edge. They don't have any cover, but they are at the forest line and just behind some of those bushes at this point. Your turn, Al.
Well, I'm just going to make the assumption they're fairly close to each other. Down in the forest ball?
The first one that went in there, they did a dash.
Okay.
So they're 40 feet ahead of that other mercenary.
Okay.
I just don't have more map picture.
No, that's fine.
So if you want to hit the furthest away one, they have half cover, and they're over 50 feet away from you in the forest.
That's okay.
Burn the forest down, Matt. You know you want
Yeah, I don't have fire, ironically. Maybe because everybody keeps teasing
We
me.
talked about this. Fire and outer space and spaceships and oxygen, compressed oxygen, are all bad things, Matt.
Well, I've got lightning now. I can ignite oxygen in any environment now. Ulrich is pretty pissed off. Again, he just sees his payday going down there. He didn't even hear, if Leo's okay. He figures he's dead. So he forms another one of these balls, and these things got a range on them. They're 120-foot range. He blasts another ball at this guy that you can just see his shoulder and head sticking out through the bushes. I'll do the sprite beam. That would be a 21 to hit.
Totally hits.
And that would be 8 points of damage to our friend to the furthest out, our long-distance runner over there.
And where does it strike them?
I'm thinking like right in the neck, just above the shoulder line, because that's all I can really see if he's running through brush and trees. So below his helmet and above his collar.
All right, so it strikes the back of his neck. You watch the helmet explode, fly up in the air, and you don't see a head anymore.
And because angry, he's going to keep running to try to keep up with the other guy that he can't get out of his range. So he'll run 30-ish, 35 feet to try to close the distance on the other guy. Again, he's all legs. And that's the end of my turn.
All right, Dathkar, up to you.
Oh, well, Dathkar's not letting this guy get away. He's going to continue chasing after him. He's hot on his heels the entire way. And as Dathkar chases him towards the edge of the forest, he has no intention of having to cut through and make his way through all this brush and stuff. He's quite large, and he knows it's going to slow him down, so he'll use his bonus action to call out his Grandblade once again, and he will take a slashing attack right at the back of his new friend. Oh, it's a 7! Damn it! Oh, that's a nat 1! Oh!
God, Lee, you're rolling Matt numbers tonight.
I was doing well for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Do you want comedic or dramatic?
Let's go comedic. Why not?
All right. As you slash with your Grandblade, again, this mercenary just seems to have very smooth, flowing, reactionary battle tactics, and they're able to sense what you're doing before the blade gets close enough to strike. But it does hit their armor in just the right spot that claw that you lost, like a tiddlywink, gets popped out of the armor and flies and hits you in the eye. Now, it doesn't cut your eye, but if you've ever had like a piece of a leaf or something hit your eye, just a piece of fabric, it hurts. You're going to take 2 points of damage
Oh, damn it.
from your own claw flying up and bouncing off your eyeball.
Wish that claw had done as much damage to this guy as it's been doing to me. All right, well, that will end my turn.
All right. So the last player that I have on the field is this mercenary that you just tried to take that attack at, and they were hurting, but they're going to do that same move. They're going to try and slash at you and keep on running. And they just crit.
Oh, boy.
No.
For a 24.
Definitely hits.
But they rolled really bad on their damage.
Woo,
If
that's all I care about.
consolation. But you do still take 8 points of piercing damage.
Ooh,
You
that's
still
a lot.
up?
I'm down to 4.
Oh, boy. Kill him. Kill him fast.
And they are going to do that spinning maneuver and try and run off into the forest if you wish to take an attack of opportunity.
Not this time. No.
Well, if you roll another nat 1, I am increasing the damage
Yeah,
caused
go
by
for it.
that claw
Dude, it's worth
situation
it.
each
Totally
time.
worth it.
Just saying.
It's all right. It's all right. That claw's going to be bouncing around this off trees and everything. All right.
It's going to become sentient.
Oh, it's a 9.
Good. Bless him.
9
man.
doesn't hit. He must have been a ballet dancer before he became a mercenary.
That is incredible.
What is it? Duck, dive, dodge.
Dip, dive, duck, dodge, and dive. Or dodge.
There you go.
Something like that, yeah.
They mutter that as they run into the forest and gain half cover.
Half cover, huh?
So, Al, they're going to be about from where you were and the angle they're running on, about 25 feet away from you.
Okay. Alric is kind of seeing Deathcar having a bad day.
I have to ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
Are you Alric or Ulric?
Depends how I say
Because
it.
you're floating back and forth, and I want to say it right.
I keep
Okay,
guessing.
Alric, I think, is probably better. I think we're going to go that way because of Al. I think you're right.
No, you're fine. I wanted to make sure I was doing it
No,
right.
you're fine.
All right, so I apologize. Go back to your
Yeah,
description.
Alric, he's just Alric. Now I'm doing it. Just sees Deathcar having trouble with this guy. He figured he was going to get him. And he's, using his Esper power, and he doesn't want to just show he's a one-trick pony. So he looks at him, the guy's getting some range, and he pulls his pistol out and he aims down the sight. He goes, I should probably make sure this thing still works. And he pulls the trigger on
Now,
the
do
guy.
you turn it sideways for the kill shot?
No, he does not. He is a better human being than that.
Kill shot! Kill shot!
That's a 23 to hit with the pistol.
Heck yeah.
Oh, it's only 4 points of damage.
You know what, though? They only had 4 hit points left. So how do you drop this mercenary with your not super cool twisted kill shot?
No, he pulls the gun, he looks down, he goes, make sure it works, and actually it goes off. He's like, wow, thing still works. And honestly, he just hits him right in the back, like right between the shoulder blades, where Dathkar had already been slashing at him and beating on it. And I think he just shoots that through that hole where the claw got caught.
The old finger hole.
Nice. Do a little bit of Robin Hood, split the arrow situation. All right. All the mercenaries that had descended upon you have been dispatched.
He spins the pistol and shoves it back in the holster. He's like, well, I'll bring that back out in about a week.
Dang it, Dathkar! Al, is anybody out there? Son of a...
Deathcar look at Alric and say, turns out Leo's still alive. We should go check on him.
Oh, that's contrary to my revenge plan here, but yeah, let's go check on him.
Some impressive fighting out there.
You too, good lord.
And then Deathcar will just turn and walk straight over towards the entry to Leo's ship.
Yeah.
And just up the cargo ramp, you see a older human, very grizzled appearance, thick 5 o'clock shadow, maybe a little bit more, tousled black pepper gray hair, bandana around his forehead, tied back, all combat gear, tied to a metal chair that's fallen over. And he's slowly just bouncing it towards the ramp, but he's still a good 20 feet away from the top of the ramp.
I didn't realize it was break time.
Shut up and get me out of this thing.
Deathcar will return his Grandblade to his belt there, and he'll walk up there and go to claw the rope, and then look at his claw and switch to his other claw and slash that rope off to release him. Don't make me attack the rope, please.
It's not a door. You'll be fine.
And this is how Leo dies.
Thank you. How many of them were there?
More fingers than I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, see, Matt.
4 humanoids and 1 drone.
But they broke the bot they were after that was on the ship. Oh, maybe we can get the thing fixed. I don't know. Must be valuable for 4 or 5 people come after it.
Well, you guys took too long.
Ah!
What happened?
Got ambushed. But Deathcar took care of that.
What took you so long?
We got ambushed.
We had to clear the ship from an aggressive plant species.
Oh, yeah.
Once
and then
we
the
were
bug.
in the ship, we had to power it, which took Ulrich a fair amount of time. Oh, yes, there was that infestation inside we had to deal with before that. That didn't take that long, though. And then upon trying to leave, we were ambushed by another group interested in the ship. That also didn't take very long.
I think some of the evidence is still in the ship.
And we proceeded here quite rapidly. Wouldn't you agree, Ulrich?
I would think so. I think you got captured fast, and we got the ship quite quickly. But no arguing. You know.
Well, I don't pay you to think. I pay you to get stuff on my ship. Let's get to it.
Yeah. Let's see what we can get here. Hey, and I think we got a new vehicle, too. Might help pay for the one that we broke.
Son of a... You didn't put it on the basilisk? Come on, guys.
We did, mostly.
Ulrich insisted that I drive it. He knows I'm not a good driver.
It's just some wheels and tires. You'll be fine.
All right, Deathcar, you broke my last one. You push that thing on the ship. Al, you go and see if there's any foodstuffs on the basilisk.
Yep.
Bring it to the cutter. We gotta leave before more of these goons come in.
Yep.
I'll get Alfred.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Can Aldrich, as he's walking to the ship to kind of search it, can he search the pile that was the training melder?
Oh, the Melder Initiate?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that investigation?
Mm-hmm.
That's a 13.
You go through their pockets in the robe, and you notice that they have a small device hanging from their belt. And it's just a portable media device, but as you pick it up, you realize that it's encrypted. It's a device that you normally can do a playback. A lot of people will record messages or orders or things like that on them. You also find a sorium rod and 50 cubles.
Not a bad day. And, okay, I'll scoop that stuff up. I figure Deathcar's going to be dealing with the vehicle and pick through whatever else is left out here. And I'll go into the ship and start looking for anything of value, food, and whatnot.
All right.
Do you have to roll
Deathcar.
for it? Or was that
Yeah,
just-
totally.
Oh, me? No, I was asking if I had to roll for looking. Or are we switching over to me right now? Switching over.
Oh.
Yeah, you're over to you.
No, I thought you were saying, do I get to roll for the vehicle? And I was like, heck yeah, you have to roll for the vehicle, but you have to describe how you're going to get it onto the cutter.
Well, I was first of all going to ask, can I do an investigation, see if this thing has a catalytic converter on it? Like, no, I'm just kidding. So, Deathcar, having just driven and crashed the vehicle like an hour ago, has hopefully learned from his mistakes a little more. Try to move a little more gingerly this time and not so aggressively as you might wield a weapon or a large weapon like he's used to. So he'll get in there, he'll smash a few buttons, get it going, and what do you need me to roll? We'll see how it goes.
Roll for smashing buttons.
Well, I believe that operating a vehicle is dexterity based.
That's what we did last time, so
Yep.
we'll go with dexterity. It's an 11.
Oh, that's adequate.
Okay. With an 11, this is a much larger ship. The cutter is a much larger ship than the Basilisk, and the ramp is not damaged. The ramp on the Basilisk was actually compromised, which is why it was, and Al was currently flying it when you drove on. So you had a
Always
lot of
Al's
scenarios
fault.
stacked against you. This is a large parked freighter with a fully operational ramp. You are able to drive it onto the ship, no problem.
I don't hit anything on the way in? Perfect. It's a success.
Were you aiming for anything on the way in?
No, I was just like, there are crates or run over the chair that's in the ramp right now.
Yeah,
Just
you would
scraping.
probably hit the chair.
That's just fun. That's not even
No.
problematic. That's just fun.
Yeah, Deathcar will smash some buttons till the lights turn off on the controls there and hop out and wait by the gate there to see if anyone else needs anything from him.
And Leo has already gone down while you were driving the vehicle. He grabbed all the components that were left of Alfred and pulled it into the cutter, loaded it into a crate, locked it, secured it, slid it back into the wall storage compartment. And about this time, you got out of the vehicle, and he just walks it behind you, cracks you real hard between the shoulder blades. All right, let's go grab the big crates and stuff from the Basilisk and get out of here.
Not a problem. And Deathcar will go ahead and tread straight across over to assist in clearing out the Basilisk.
Now, where all were you looking on the Basilisk, Al, for stuff?
Well, there was in the cargo bay. There was a couple piles. I was gonna probably avoid the one that was near the initial hiding spot from our friend, and go to the other side and look at stuff that was probably less damaged and torn up in the cargo hold on the right side there.
All right, so you've got your arms filled with just some food stuff, some basic tools, equipment, some things that you can use for patching small repairs on the cutter. And as you're exiting the cargo bay, that's when Deathcar and Leo are walking up.
And Al's gonna look at him and go, "Hey, let's not forget the batteries. There's an extra one up in the on the bridge. We could probably get ours and that one back, and maybe be able to reuse them."
Good work, Al. Deathcar, you go grab those. I'm gonna see what's in these crates.
All right. Send the guy with claws go delicately remove electronic equipment. All right.
Yeah.
And Deathcar, as you exit the cargo bay, which is a fairly large space, we had described it, it's probably 40 feet wide, at least 60 feet tall. Everything starts to get smaller the closer you get to the bridge. And all the doors are stuck open because it's on emergency power. They're not closing behind you. And you hear some faint metal on metal sounds as you step into the bridge. And you see kind of upside down descending from a removed panel in the ceiling, a Bellare. Can you describe to me what you see?
Yes, it's a humanoid figure. It's got an armored kind of exoskeleton suit, but this one's more heavily modified. Normally they're kind of more put together and look more refined. This one looks like it's been modified over time. The tubes, wires, sensors, all that kind of either ripped out and replaced and done externally, or things move around, bolted on, where they were kind of just done over time. Is that a good enough description?
It's however you want, because this is your second character. Yeah. This particular Crucible Corpse that we're going to be phasing into is recommended for 3 characters. So I had asked you guys and challenged one of you to be our focus character. So you are actually doing double duty, Dan.
That's right.
Dan's all about the duty.
2 character sheets, twice the killing power.
And this is Tuvelis, the Bellare android, fully robotic species that is climbing out of the ceiling, that had been a stowaway on the Basilisk and had watched all of the chaos and calamity that you endured in the bridge. Heard everything outside and finally thought it was all safe.
Yeah, real hero, huh?
So I'm not going to make you have to talk to yourself too much, but I would ask, what is something that an android could say that Dathkar would not immediately attack them? Your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries.
I'm trying to think of something. Knowing Dathkar wants to kill everything. I think Tuvelis will look down at him and say,
"You all did quite an amazing job out there. You dropped every enemy you came across. You've quite the ability to survive. I appreciate that. I hope you know that I'm not a threat. I mean you no harm, and perhaps I could be of use to you. I need safe passage from this planet."
And then I'll give you the choice to either offer a bribe to Dathkar or roll a persuasion check.
Murder yourself.
I was like, you gotta flatter him, so I'd say a persuasion check, I guess, because I don't know what you could offer Dathkar right now that he would have an interest in, if I'm being honest.
I just remember that you rolled the maximum number possible on your starting coin, your cubles.
Oh, yeah.
So I will say, if you offer some cash money, I'll give you advantage on your persuasion check.
All right, Tuvelis will do just that. He will look and say,
"I can pay my way. I have coin for it."
And we'll roll for persuasion.
How much is he going to offer Dathkar? Just out of curiosity.
Let's say 100 cubles. I assume that's
right.
A fair bit.
Pretty good, pretty good.
Okay. I don't quite know the currency in the game because we haven't purchased anything yet.
Well, the whole job was, I think, 600, but we were going to get it doubled. Damn well better now.
That's a good point. Yeah, so I have
100 cubles. I can offer payment for transport off this planet.
All right. You roll advantage on Tuvelis, and I will roll the insight check on Dathkar, if you're good with that.
Sure. Persuasion. Oh, man. That is a 4 and a 2. Go with the 4.
All right. Let's see the insight check.
Oh, wow. Meets a beats.
Yep, Dathkar did an insight check of 4. I love it when the dice play with our narrative.
That's
I figured Dathkar's going to have to double the price or something, but he's...
This is the worst game of Price is Right ever.
$1, Bob.
$1.01.
Dathkar will look up at Tuvelis and say, "There's no way he poses a threat to us, and I don't see any harm in this. We'll have to run it by Leo first, but come on." And he will lead him back down to the cargo bay and announce to everyone else here, "Leo, Ulrich, we found another stowaway."
And I was sent here to get one greasy, clanky robot. Do I need to take you in pieces too, or are you going to be fine?
Oh, I will be no threat to you. I assure you, survival is all I care about.
Auric puts his glowing handball back down. Never mind.
The last robot fled the ship. What are you guys all jumpy about the robots for? Or androids?
Everybody's been trying to kill us for the last 20 minutes. I don't know anything.
All right. Don't touch anything on my ship, and I'll give you a passage to where we're going. But I ain't gonna pay you for it.
That is more than generous.
All right. Ow, Dathkar. Think we got everything valuable here. Let's get out of here.
Yep.
Let's go.
Alrighty. Gets on the ship, loads up stuff, sits down, licks his wounds.
Would you guys like to take a short rest as you... Well, you guys are trying to get out of Dodge quickly, so I retract my statement. You're able to make it back to the ship. Leo seems somewhat in a hurry, and he kind of throws things in the cargo bay, doesn't even strap everything down, closes the ramp, does like the two fingers pointing at the eyeballs and then pointed straight at Tivelis. Got my eye on you. And then he heads up to the bridge.
I mean, Dathkar will say, I will keep an eye on him.
Better. Unlock him a bedroom door.
And Leo's going to call out to you, Al.
Yeah.
And he's going to say, Al, get up to the bridge. I need a tech.
Coming. Alright, go up and see what Leo needs and jump into a seat if there's an available one. Whatnot.
There are. It's not a massive bridge. It is a large frigate, but it's not a massive bridge. And there is a captain's seat, classic in the middle, just like every sci-fi ship ever. And he doesn't sit there. He actually goes up to the controls and he sits in the pilot seat. And you notice that there are two additional computer bays next to him that are usually the technicians that kind of maintain the systems. They're the ones that check on the shields, the life support, all the other things as you're in flight. And then there's a few other drop seats that you can strap into. And there are some other screens, but the main controls are going to be the pilot and the technician seats on this ship. You are able to pull out of the hangar and ascend up above the forest, get out through the atmosphere, and you are in outer space.
Whoa. Pretty.
It's not long that you've broken the atmosphere of Uria 7 that the cutter's sensor panel lights up, signaling the presence of 3 small vessels approaching you at intercept speeds. Looks like we've got some unfriendly company. Leo shouts out to you guys. We can either blast him out of the stars or see if we can leave him as space dust. If you've got a plan to get out of this one, now's the time to pull your weight. And on that note, we're going to end this episode.
Don't let Dathkar fly.
No. I like shooting stuff, but not when they're in outer space.
Nope. There's a lot of people that wanted Alfred.
Apparently everybody needs a good butler.
So the cool thing is, in our next episode, we are going to start with Starship Space Combat, which actually has ship mechanics and roles in this game system.
I was just going to launch
So,
Dathkar out of a torpedo tube and hope for the best.
So there is a gunner seat, which is where I assume Dathkar is probably going to make a break for, but you don't have to. The cutter is big enough that you can be a co-pilot or the second technician. But there's actually jobs and maneuvers and things that you do that affect not only the speed of the ship, but its hull integrity, its AC, like depending on who's in what seat. It's actually pretty cool. I'm excited.
All right. I'll make some decisions based off of, I'll read more to that. Decide who's doing what then, because maybe Tivelis is going to pull his weight a little bit. Or Tivelis pull its weight a little bit.
There you go.
That would be fun.
That'd be cool, yeah. I mean, if Dathkar wants to do guns and Tivelis does engineering and I help keep the, and Al keeps the ship in one piece, that'll be a pretty cool dynamic.
Yeah.
Fun times.
So what's one thing that you're enjoying about this system so far?
I think, there's a lot of comparison to D&D, and it is familiar in that realm, but it's different enough. The only analogy I could say, it's D&D like Spanish and Italian are the same language.
That's a really good interpretation.
You've simultaneously upset two cultures. Great.
I'll give it a minute. I can get a third one in there real quick. No, but the whole point is, yes, it's similar in a lot of ways, and there's definitely things that are familiar, but it's its own thing. There's its own dynamics, and there is a lot. As somebody who's a reasonably experienced D&D player, that there's more here. It's really fun. So it feels like we're learning again, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. When I first read through the classes and the species, I kind of did like my first take, like, oh, that's kind of like, that's the same as a fighter, or that's probably similar to a paladin. But now that you guys have leveled up more and seeing how you're using some of your abilities, it is not just a straight crossover of the fighter has these 3 skills, we're just going to put the word space in front of them, and that's what the Sentinel has. Like, not at all. And so I think you hit the nail on the head. There's a lot more depth, and I'm really excited to see how some of the Esper powers play out, because the descriptions on some of these are just so cool.
Yeah, I was going to say that I really like the powers, just having this kind of new version of powers to use in this game, and the visuals that come along with them now, because instead of what D&D had, if we're used to some way of holding person where they just like grasp in place, this one has gravity, so you can imagine a gravity well around them that's just kind of formed around them, and they're being pulled into it. And I think that's going to be kind of a fun thing of like crossing out of D&D and getting into sci-fi version here is going to make it a lot more interesting.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. And on that note,
we hope you can find yourself a galaxy and a ship
and a crew,
so you can launch into your own NatFun. Good night.
Bye.
Stay cool.
See you next week.
Don't attack the lizard guy. Doesn't work out.
Come back next week as we jump right into the action. Will Ulrich be able to co-pilot the ship? Will Dathkar get another explosive kill? And will Tuvelis be a help or a hindrance? All that and more next week as Cipher Syndicate continues here on NatFun. Esper Genesis by Alligator Alley Entertainment has been a fun yet familiar system to learn. As it is a D&D 5th edition compatible game system, many of the mechanics are similar, but their origin stories are not. And I've loved the pacing that Skydawn Game Studios has done with their Crucible Corps module that we started in our Session 0. It's a great balance of intrigue with a lot of fun combat. Plus, next up, spaceships. I can hardly wait to see what else this adventure has in store. If you'd like to check out Esper Genesis or Skydawn Game Studios, you can at alligatoralley.entertainment.com, skydawngames.com, and DriveThruRPG. And while you're there, you can also check out Skydawn Game Studios' newest game, Phantasy Star Tabletop, based on the popular Phantasy Star video game series. We'll have links to all of them in the show notes and on our website, natfunpodcast.com. And if you want more NatFun in your life, you can head on over to patreon.com/natfun for exclusive episodes, character stat blocks, cutting room floor clips, and more. You can even score some NatFun stickers or a custom D20. And if subscriptions aren't your jam, no worries. Thanks for listening. And if you're liking the show, maybe you could leave us a rating or review on your favorite podcast listening network, or tell a friend. We'd really appreciate it. Hope to see you next week.